you talked about you went to Peru and you went to this ayahuasca ceremony. What was that like?
Yeah, so I got really into psychedelics during that phase because I was finding it was bringing me to a place that did have peace and where I was free of I guess my mind in some ways, and really thought that that was a ticket for me. So why not take it to the nth degree? I emailed an author of a book who happened to do ayahuasca with native Matsis down there, and I got in contact with him. And so I went down there and I was in the jungle with an Matsis Indian tribe for a couple weeks and in the middle of nowhere, bro. I'm talking like a 24-hour ferry up the Amazon and then like a 3-hour skiff up a tributary. It took us forever to get there. And I did 4 ceremonies, supposed to do five, but on the fourth one, it was just very clear, like, just go in. This is it for you. You don't need to do this anymore, at least for now. Um, Start like going in. And so that was kind of what I started doing. And I started looking at meditation, looking more into that, started developing a serious practice, and just realizing that, at the end of the day, it's all within, right? The whole shebang is within. And it sounds vague and cliche to say that, but this really is, I think, just a big mirror outside of what's actually happening inside. So start to just go in and observe and look for tools in those avenues. So it was fruitful for me, but it wasn't the end all be all that I had anticipated.
Wow. So the end all be all was what happened afterwards, which was the going in, but the ceremony actually showed you what to do to get to the end all be all.
Yeah, definitely a step. And I'm glad I went down that journey, the plant medicine, because I had to see it for myself. And I don't think it's necessary for everyone to do it. And some people, I think, get caught in there for a long time. Again, it's a method. So
Hmm.
any method is going to trap. Like that's the nature of any method. It's just that the really good methods tend to self-destruct. When you don't need them anymore, they lose their interest or they're able to fall apart. So that's kind of what happened there. I was fortunate that it did fall apart and that I didn't, that I wasn't taking ayahuasca 10 times a year. And that's for some people, their karma, that's what they need. But that wasn't for me. So
Okay. And but prior to going down to Peru, you were taking different psychedelics. Which ones were you using?
mushrooms, exclusively mushrooms.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I would go out into the woods on a weekend, go on a hiking trip with a buddy, and we'd just make a pilgrimage of it.
Yeah.
And
Hey, trust
we were
me. Hey,
messing with higher doses because we
hey,
were growing it. So we were doing, 5 to 14 grams kind of doses. And
oh, that is
um,
pretty high. Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty high. It was too high, honestly. So again, it's self-destructive though. I took 14 grams one time, and that was pretty much the last time I did any significant mushrooms.
Okay. You haven't done them since?
Maybe small doses, picking in the cow fields, but nothing,
Yeah.
nothing big. No.
Okay. Um, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I may have done this a time or two back in
Great
the day.
tools. Great tools, man.
Yeah. Wow, wow. So now when you before you went to Peru, you clean the body out by going to raw foods. What was this methodology supposed to do, or why are you supposed to clean the body out before you do one of these ceremonies?
Right. Well, basically, the medicine is going to clean what it needs to clean. But if you've cleaned out things already, like if I've cleaned physically out, then it can go deeper. So that's the rule of thumb. The cleaner you are physically, then you can start dialing into maybe some mental patterns, some physical patterns, some emotional patterns. Um, that's how I've seen it work. And
Okay.
usually those experiences for me. psychedelic experiences are very intense. There's usually some sort of death involved for me. There's always an
Okay.
unpleasant aspect
Like
to
a
it.
like an ego death or what kind of death?
Yeah, but the ego is so tied in that moment to my identity. It feels like a physical death. There's often pain, unpleasant sensations. Um, but
Hmm.
yeah, and it really throws my mind off. I've done it psychedelics maybe a few times since meditation, and that still comes, but I have much more equanimity, like stock equanimity, to be able to kind of keep a space from all the reactivity that is going on in my ego during those experiences.
Okay.
If that makes sense. There's like space between the observer and the subject more and more.